I was a straight D boy. You know what I'm saying? I was selling hella dope. You know what I'm saying? Shit, pushing bricks. You know what I mean? Shit, breaking down bricks and pushing bricks. You feel me? I was in them streets. You know what I mean? 24/7 though. Sometimes I forgot I even had a home. You feel me? Shit, I was married, had 5 kids. You know what I'm saying? That was all. Let me see, about like 12 years and under. You know what I'm saying? So I had a lot of responsibilities to take as a father. But shit, just gang banging and selling dope. That was my life right there. I loved it. You know what I mean? I still do love the shit, but you know, I got to change my life around and do better. You know what I mean? I got to teach my kids
Yeah.
better too. So
Yeah. So basically, you were living fast out there, real
yeah,
fast.
I was living the good life. That's what they call it. I was living the good life, man. I was enjoying every day of it. I was taking vacation trips to Thailand. I've been overseas. So I feel like, you know, I can say I'm international. You feel me?
Yeah. So I mean, how when you actually got locked up, what was going through your mind?
The day I got locked up, man, that shit was it's just I couldn't fathom it. It didn't seem real. I remember I woke up the next morning in that prison cell and I thought it was a dream, homie. Straight up. It took about like 4 or 5 days for me to realize, you know what I mean, that I was really locked up going through this situation. You know what I mean? It still didn't hit me till about like a week later. You know what I'm saying? But then as
Yeah.
soon as I started going to court with the charges that I was facing, I didn't see myself coming up out this situation. But as the time progressed and I was in the county jail on my second and third year, I built a relationship with God and I knew he was the only person that was gonna save me to get me up out
Yeah.
this situation. You feel me?
Yeah. So what was like a normal day like inside the county jail?
In the county, I did two, 3.5, no, excuse me, I did 4 years in the county, and the rest of the time I did on the in the pen. And you know, the county and the pen is way different. You know what I mean? But the
Yeah.
county was just as for me to fight my case. You know what I mean? But the county is shit about 22-hour lockdown, 23-hour lockdown. You don't really get to move around much. You don't get to work out. It's pretty much just to sit there and fight your case and see what's going on. And you either beat your shit, don't beat it, or bond out, or get. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was county jail is easy work compared to
Yeah.
the yard. You feel me?
Where were you locked up at?
Tucson, Arizona, Pima County Jail. Uh,
For all the people that
when
don't
I,
know.
when I hit prison, I did most of my time in Red Rock. It was in Eloy, Arizona. It's a private prison, but yeah, that's where I was at. I did time in Red Rock, Eloy, Arizona, and I did time in Florence too, which is in Arizona as well.
What kind of mistakes did you see people making in the prison?
It's so much bullshit that motherfuckers love nitpicking on the motherfucker in there. It could be the silliest shit, a motherfucker. Oh, you cut through the tables because you know it's politics in it. The black sit right here, the white sit right there, the Mexican sit right there. You might walk too close to the table. You might even touch the table. You know what I mean? A Mexican table, and you know you're a black person. You ain't even supposed to be walking that close to the table. That could be a mistake. Uh, shit. To the rec field. You know what I mean? We got the Mexican cage, we got the black cage, we got the white cage. You know what I'm saying? Like you might accidentally cut through one of their little workout sessions. You know what I mean? The motherfucker might say something, or just one of the biggest mistake that I seen is motherfuckers come to the pen, homie, and they try to show out and they try to prove a point and they try to be super hard, and a motherfucker can sense that shit. So when a motherfucker try to be super hard, there's gonna be a motherfucker waiting for you to try you and test you and whip your motherfucking ass. But if you come over there and be cool, calm, collect, and be yourself and try not to be something that you're not, I guarantee you your time will be a lot easier. Guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Straight
Yeah, I
up.
feel that. Yo, over here on the East Coast, it's not really racial segregated.
Yeah.
It is
Right.
over there though.
Yeah, on the West
You
Coast,
know,
we got it's politics with the races.
yeah, that's crazy. Like just hearing that.
Yeah. You sell up with your own race out here. So your celly would be black. A white person will only sell up with a white person. Mexican will only sell up with a Mexican. You can't You can't integrate. Uh, you don't shower with you shower with your race. You sell up with your race. You eat with your race. That's how it go out here on the West Coast. You know, from
So you don't
Cali.
even do you can't even do business with them.
Not supposed to, but you know, a lot of shit goes on behind closed
Yeah,
doors, baby. You feel me?
yeah,
You're not supposed to. So the whites are more on some super politics shit where they don't deal with blacks. The whites would deal with the Mexicans. The whites would deal with the natives. Um, anything other but black. Mexicans and the Paisas, you know, the Mexican nationals, they'll deal with the blacks on a certain level, but they also got that cutoff line too as, hey, we only do this with you. We don't play basketball with you guys. Or, you know, but you know, when it comes to the dope or whatever, we'll fuck with you on the dope. But that's pretty much it, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
whites don't do no business. They can't even tattoo on the black. Mexicans can tattoo on a black person.
So how'd you spend most of your days in there? I seen in your videos you were working out a lot.
Man, shit, I like to look fly, baby. You know what I mean? I like it. It makes me feel good, and it makes my time go by. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, I mean, to start it off, 5:30 is when they pop the doors in the cell. I'm already getting up, getting ready to brush my teeth. You know, the cell itty bitty. You know what I mean? So you got a celly. So if he get up too, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to be moving around in that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Two big motherfuckers on hubs. You feel me? Trying to move
Yeah.
around, brush their teeth. So I'll step outside, brush my teeth on the top tier. He'll be inside brushing his teeth, taking the piss, whatever. By the time I come in, wash my mouth, um, you know what I'm saying? He getting done doing what he doing. I get done doing what I'm doing and shit, head out, go to breakfast. As soon as I get done with breakfast, shit, we got morning rec and we got afternoon rec. So it alternates from day to day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, so if we got afternoon rec, I'll come back from breakfast. I work out inside the pod. We got a pull-up bar, we got dip bars, and we got a little push-up station inside the pod. So I do that shit. I run up the stairs every day for about 30 minutes. Um, shower up. Oh yeah, and you shower with your race too, homie. That's how we do it out here.
Yeah.
You can't shower with another race.
Do y'all
So
be having guards and stuff at the door?
they it's a big ass pod, and we got A, B, C, D, E, and F in the rotunda. So they come and do their walk every 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
No, I
So
meant like your own race. Do y'all watch each other's backs while y'all in the shower?
yeah, pretty much. You know what I mean? You go in, you probably get one of your homeboys, you know what I mean? Stand outside, you know what I mean? Let me shower, wash my ass real quick and shit. If you want to shower up, I got you too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it all
So when
depends,
you was in there, did you see any like some crazy situations? What's the craziest situation you seen?
shit. To me, it's not even crazy no more. I done seen it all.
I know, yeah, you started to get used to it.
It's
Yeah.
everyday life, bro. It's everyday life, homie. Like, but I mean, I seen motherfucking bangers this motherfucking big. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers walking around the yard with bangers this motherfucking big. Seen
Basically
motherfuckers.
swords.
Yeah, you might as well say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I seen motherfucking police get knocked the fuck out. I seen female COs get knocked the fuck out. I seen the warden get knocked the fuck out.
Seen the
Um,
warden get knocked out.
yeah,
Yo, tell us
seen.
about that, yo. Cause you don't hear that every day.
I mean, shit. Just
Oh man, there ain't
or
much to the story. He
it,
just
it,
he just
it
got
ain't much.
knocked out.
It ain't much of the story. He came to the yard tripping, telling motherfuckers what we gonna do and what we ain't gonna do. And motherfuckers told him what we gonna do. And he said something a motherfucker didn't like. Motherfucker had a whole bunch of time. I think the dude had life, but I mean, he had like 30, 40 something years. You might as well call that life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he ain't give no fucks. And yeah, shit. They exchanged some words and dude slept his ass. Gave him a dirt nap.
Dang.
That
I
was
know
that.
y'all was on lockdown for
Oh yeah,
about a
but like
year.
it was a couple of weeks though, but you know, shit. I seen a few times though where we get on lockdown for about a month or two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shit is horrible.
Now you said something about cages. Was that only for like when you locked down and you get to go out there for wrecking the cage?
Nah, we got separate cages. we got, because there's, let me see, what's the best way I could describe this shit? So we got the north yard and we got the south yard. And on the north yard, we got buildings 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, like, let's just say, like, pretty much there's a cage for each building. You know what I mean? But the way prison politics, we run the shit, the CEOs don't tell us how we should organize our shit and go about our days and how we should do shit. So prison politics is, all right, well, we'll just make this cage for the Mexicans. We'll make this cage for the white boys. We'll make this cage for the blacks. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
less problems.
Yeah, less problems. So you could slide up in there and go to a Mexican cage if you got permission, or if you cool, or you going over there to handle some business and motherfuckers know that you coming over there. But just to go over there and motherfuckers don't know you going over there and you trying to work out in their session, yeah, that shit ain't finna work.
Yeah.
They gonna be looking at you crazy, and if anything happen, can't nobody save you up in that motherfucker neither.
Yes. That's the crazy thing about it. See, here over on the East Coast, we don't have race wars and none of that. So just hearing about it is like different. You know what I'm saying? Now, while you were up there, did you actually see a race war?
Uh, in this on this bit right here, we had a standoff with the white boys. Um, and it's crazy that normally the white boys outnumber the blacks. But in this situation, on this yard, the way they trying to turn the prison systems in Arizona is they got IHP, which is integrated housing. They're trying to integrate all the races now. So there's plenty of yards where motherfuckers don't want to go by politics no more. So if you sign a waiver saying you want to be IHP,
Yeah.
they'll send you to a yard to where you can integrate and house with whoever you want to be with, and there's no politics. So all the white boys, I'm talking about all the Nazi skinhead motherfucking racist motherfucking want to kill a nigga ass motherfuckers, all them white boys, they're
Yeah.
done with politics. They want to go to the IHP yards because they don't want to politic no more. So therefore, all the blacks and all the Mexicans don't want to IHP. They want to stay on the GP yards, and they still want to do the politics. So the blacks outnumber the whites now.
Yeah.
So in this situation right here, we had a standoff with the white boys, and we outnumber the white boys. Them motherfuckers didn't want no funk. They didn't want no problems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was this close to cracking off. The motherfucking COs, they suited and booted. They got on the towers. They got on the top of the roofs. They got the little spray guns or the mace guns or whatever the fuck they be shooting out with the smoke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was ready though. You know what I'm saying? Helicopters start flying in. But that was one situation. But riots pop off all the time though. Me, luckily, I haven't been in one, but I've been in about like 4 or 5 standoffs already. And all
Oh,
it
so
takes.
it was close though. It was
Yeah, yeah,
close.
yeah, yeah. It's close. I've been in situations where I was outnumbered my damn self. I'm in I'm
Yeah.
in I'm in, I'm in the hallway going to chow, and it's gated. You got to stand in the gated hallway, chain link fence around you, and one of the black dudes was getting into it with a Mexican cat over some fucking ice. So black dude wanted to catch the fade with the Mexican dude. The Mexican dude was little. He was a little itty bitty motherfucker. The black dude was big. He was gonna put a beating on that boy.
You were
And
just gonna do it right then and there?
yeah, but we was telling them, man, let's go to the cell. Nobody has to get in trouble if we just go to the cell. But if you just get it in right here, somebody going to the hall. You feel me?
Yeah.
So the Mexican dude was like, nah, let's get down right here. The black dude like, nah, fuck that, let's go to the cell. So I push over there. You know, my name ring bells in the penitentiary too. So as soon as I walked over there, motherfuckers like, hey man, go kind of start that situation out, try to kill that shit, you know what I mean? So I go over there like on some big homie shit, you know what I mean? And next thing I know, the little Mexican dude, he felt intimidated, like too many black people were coming over there. And he get the yelling, Rasa, Rasa, Rasa. That's their little call right there, you know what I mean, to get their people together, you know what I mean? Man, I seen so many motherfucking Mexican dudes surrounding me. I'm looking around, I got motherfuckers breathing down my neck. I said, hey, God, yeah, hey, bro, shit, I'm trying to stall this situation out, man. You feel me? But that's all I could do in a situation like that. I had about like 30 Mexicans surrounding me. There was just about like 4 or 5 black dudes.
Damn.
So
They be the ones that had the swords.
hell motherfucking yeah. Hell motherfucking yeah. They got everything.
Yeah, it's like that
Got
down here. You
everything.
know, no gang really wants to get into it with the MS-13. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
when they get into it, they trying to kill somebody.
They knocking heads off. And they don't give
Yeah.
no fucks. They don't give no fucks.
Now you said before you got locked up, you was getting to that fast money. So you know, you said while you was in there, you was getting to that fast money. So you already know whoever be getting to the money, be having all the power. So is that
Mm.
why your name was ringing bells?
That and because of my prison bid that I did before that, and there's a lot of people that I knew from the streets as well, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
a lot of motherfuckers look up to me. My name good on the street. So as soon as I hit the yard, motherfuckers like, okay, he got the car for the Tucson cats or whatever, or you know what I mean, for the Bloods or whatever, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
I'm
That's
wise.
the next question I was going to ask you. Was you on gang time in there?
Hell yeah, I was. But at the same time, I just went through a situation where I almost lost my life, and me fighting for my life, going to trial 3 times, and that shit really changed the way I think and operate. So when
It
it's
slow you
time,
down?
yeah. Um,
Yeah. So you think since you getting out, you think doing all that time in prison, it's like a war zone in there. You think it like kept you on your toes? You know what I'm saying? Made you a little bit more aware of your situation. You think
hell,
you're in a better spot than you is now before you got locked up
yeah,
mentally.
yeah, most definitely, bro. Like I said, that shit changed my life all the way. It made me move different, think different. Um, and I was thinking more for the future of my release date. You know what I mean? Because I knew that you know the situation that I was in, bro. Like I had to make sure I was safe, and I couldn't be who I wanted to be to everybody else on the yard. And if I play that role and be who I wanted to be on the yard with them people, shit, I could jeopardize my time and get more time in it. Shit, I know a lot of motherfuckers that go to the pen with 2, 3, 4 years and they get 10, 15, 20 years tacked on. They don't never come home, bro. So I knew I didn't want to put
Yeah,
myself in that position because I just beat a life sentence.
yeah. It gets to a point where you out there trying to impress everybody else, but you gotta think about your loved ones at the house. You actually
Exactly.
want to go home one day. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So did you see any other crazy events in there?
Uh like I said, I seen some
Did you ever go
people
to the
fight.
hole?
Oh yeah. I went to the hall fighting. I got in 2 fights that I went to the hall over, but I mean I got in plenty more fights than that, but 2 that I got in trouble for. I mean, you could type my name on the ADOC.gov and you could check all my files is legit. I'm certified. Like you can see all my whole history. Um, I got caught with a cell phone in there. You know what I mean? So I went to the hole for that. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying?
had to be
Got
doing things because the cell phone cost a lot.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. The motherfuckers go for 2,500, maybe 3,000. All depends
Yeah,
what type of yard you on, but then you could go to a minimal yard where they're rampant. You know what I mean? Some motherfuckers got like 4 or 5 phones on them. You know what I mean? And they just let them go for the low, 3, 4, 500. But you got to work your way down to a minimal yard. You know what I mean? But I
yeah.
always stayed on the high yard on the 3 or 4 where the lifers be.
Would you just kept on getting into trouble?
Uh, got into trouble. The way I push. You know what I mean? Like when you got high, when you got gang affiliation and shit, and you got like influence in the prison system, they tend to keep you on higher yards, you know what I mean? Because they don't want you to go to the minimal yards so you can influence people that are going home or yards where they don't really politic as hard as they do on the higher yard. You feel me?
Yeah. Thank you for that donation, Big Flex. What's up, homie? Yeah, exactly. They be watching because they know that you got influence, you got power. Your
Exactly.
word is gonna be law. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Do you feel like a lot of people glorify prison? Like a lot of people, like they
I
think being in prison.
I think it's the younger generation. You know what I mean? Some people think that shit cool, but I think that shit retarded than a motherfucker. I don't never want to spend any more time in prison than I have to. Like me personally, I've been there twice, and I can tell you right now, it won't be a third time. But
Yeah,
prison is for losers. Straight up. It's for motherfuckers that got caught, that did some silly ass shit, and they wasn't moving smooth enough, and they got caught. There's no way you could really win in prison. I mean, you could do good, you could better yourself, but you're not gonna be winning in prison. So if you ain't
yeah,
winning, I look at it as if you're a loser. You know what I mean? So
yeah, exactly.
the only way you're gonna win is get out here, do the right thing, do what you gotta do, take care of your family, your kids, and be successful, bro, and be a good example to your friends and family and people out here in these streets, man. Be an influence to the youth, you know what I mean, or whatever you want to
Yeah,
do, bro.
exactly. And that's the
Can't do
big
that.
thing.
Go ahead.
That's the big thing. That's why I started doing all this, because you sitting in there and you just you wasting years. People dying out here. You ain't helping nobody. You
Yeah.
know, and a lot of young YNs, they thinking it's cool, and it's really not.
Mhm.
But I see you did get a hold of a phone and you started to go viral on Instagram.
Hell, motherfucker, yeah, man. It's been a long time that been about like 5 years. I think about 5.5 years. I ain't really reached out to the streets. So as soon as I hit the yard, and one of the Mexican homies had a phone, uh, yeah, I ended up buying that motherfucker, and shit, man, I didn't know how to act with that motherfucker. I felt like I was at home.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I felt like I was at home.
Yo, for people that don't know, you were going viral on Instagram. Do you want to tell people your Instagram? Do
Oh
you want
shit.
people to go over there and follow
Yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah. Instagram, Hot Topic Brizzle. That's HOT period topic TOPIC and then Brizzle BRIZZLE at Instagram. Get
Yeah,
at
you
me.
got where you were in prison, working out and all that on there.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I try to keep the fly shit on there. You know what I mean? Do the shit for the ladies and everything. And I really didn't know what else to do in there other than to do some workout videos and some hair braiding videos. You feel me? And
Yeah.
when I did the hair braiding videos, the motherfuckers went viral. And
Yeah, that's the thing.
shout out
When you go
to
to prison,
prison
you
bars.
try. We said what?
Shout out to prison bars because prison bars tapped in with me and I was shooting them my videos and I think he had about like 600 K followers on this shit. So he the reason why I blew up because he was reposting my videos and that motherfucker did. I think my shit did like 634K when he reposted one of my videos. Then I said, fuck it. You know what? Instead of him reposting my videos, let me start posting the shit on my page. I'm gonna make me a page, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's what I did though. So I made me a page and I started posting all the shit on my page. But like I said, just shout out to prison bars. Y'all tap in with prison bars too on Instagram.
Now, when you started to go viral, did you get worried? Because sometimes it
Yeah.
gets back to the prison.
I already knew that shit was finna happen. I already knew that. And
So you got caught?
hell yeah, I got caught.
Yeah, tell us about that.
So the yard where I had the phone at, the shit fucking well, let me say this. The shit got to the warden. This is the same warden that got knocked the fuck out too. Um, when I went to the hall for this shit, he came and gave me a little visit in the hall, and he said, "Look, man, I just want you to know, uh, nobody has ever done anything like this on my yard. You're the first to do this shit, and I got to get you off my yard because you embarrassed me." That was his exact words, verbatim. He said, "You embarrassed me. You did some shit. You went viral on my fucking yard, man. This shit is embarrassing." Motherfuckers is calling in. My higher ups is hearing about this shit. But anyways, back to the story though. So
Yeah.
I got the phone Uh man, yeah, shit. I got the phone and me and the homie was bored as fuck, didn't know what to do, and I started braiding hair because I braid hair. And I just said, fuck, you know what? I told one of the other homies to record me, you know what I mean? And he was like, you sure? But we was just like, damn, like how the hell am I gonna record you, man? There's really no open room. This yard that I was on, it didn't have cells. It was a dorm. So the thing is, you don't want everybody to be in your business, you know what I mean? So when you out there
Yeah.
just in the wide open and motherfuckers know you got a phone and shit, that's how a motherfucker get told on.
Drop that slip.
Yeah, they gonna drop that kite on you, bro, and then the next thing you know, they finna run down on you. So, um, yeah, so once that video went viral, uh, once that video went viral, the CO came back the next day and she said, hey, I seen your Instagram page. I looked at her like she was stupid. I said, what is you talking about? I tried to shake the shit off, and she was just like, I'm not gonna tell on you. I'm just saying I seen your Instagram page. I said, yeah, what it look like? I was just trying to see if she really seen the shit or not. And she like, oh, you was doing pull-ups and I think you were braiding. You were braiding.
I bet you, I bet you, as soon as you started hearing that, you got back there, you started hiding all your stuff, didn't you?
Man, I every night that I talked on that phone, I had that gut feeling. I said, man, these motherfuckers gonna run down on me, man. I need to put this motherfucker up. So anyways, so the female cop that told me that shit, she had a boyfriend that worked at the prison. So now the boyfriend got wind of it. I don't know how. I don't know if she told him or whatever. So the boyfriend tells one of the other inmates, tell inmate Griffin, which is me, tell inmate Griffin that they gonna run down on him. So
Oh,
the
that's cool.
homie,
He gave you a heads up.
yeah, he gave me a heads up. So the homie told me, hey man, they finna they finna gun you down, man. These motherfuckers SSU is not playing with you. They finna gun you down. So I gave the phone to the homie, and for about 3 days straight, uh, I gave him the dope, I gave him the phone, I gave him all that shit. So hold this shit. These motherfuckers finna run down on me. But about the third night, they came about like 2 o'clock in the morning and ran down on me. They didn't find the phone though. They did not
Yeah,
find the, but they
that's
knew I
usually
had
when
the
they
phone.
do it. They
Mhm.
try to do it when you ain't expecting it.
Yeah. So they sent me to the hall. I got time for that shit because they seen my Instagram. They knew I was recording on the yard, but they didn't get the phone. Technically, I could have beat the ticket, but I didn't know better at the time. I just signed and said, "Oh fuck it, I'm guilty, whatever." But in order for them to charge you and give you that time, you have to be caught in possession of the cell phone. I didn't know. I thought like, okay, they just seen my Instagram, so they know I got a phone. So I could
Yeah,
have appealed. I could have appealed the ticket and everything, and got my time back. But I just said, fuck it. You know what I mean? I ain't had the patience and the time, and I don't want to sit in the hole for no 4 or 5, 6 months trying to appeal the shit. So
yeah.
I signed the shit, got shot out to a higher yard.
It's too bad you ain't had no. You know how in prison there's always that OG that knows every law.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
You
But
know what I'm saying?
when I got to the higher yard, I got to him, but it was already too late though.
All right. All right. Do you feel like prison changed you permanently? I think we got it. I think we answered that, but
They want to
you
see
think
my
it you
hair.
think it like sharpened you up? Like,
Did prison sharpen me up?
yeah. Like
Hell
what
yeah. It I mean, you go there to learn. Like some motherfuckers just go over there and sit down and waste every day in that motherfucker. I sharpen my pencil every motherfucking day. And when I say I sharpen my pencil, I'm talking about this right here. I sharpen my pencil every motherfucking day. And I was in the book, I was in the class, I learned some motherfucking French. Took a credit
you said
repair class.
French?
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's what's
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Hell
Yeah, that's
yeah.
the one thing about prison. You want to try to come out better than what you came in there.
Yeah. So it made me look at life different. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to have a lot of hate in my heart. I used to always, I was a real gang banger. You know what I mean? And when it came to the other side, you know what I mean? You know, I'm a blood. You know what I mean? So when I seen the ops, like I just felt like I had to, shit, get active with one of them. But
Yeah.
I don't even have that shit in my heart no more. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I really,
It's crazy. I felt like the same way. And going to prison, it taught like respect, discipline, and all that. You know,
yeah.
I'll defend that to the day I die. Because you got everybody going in there young and they don't know
Mm,
nothing. But when you get out, respect on all that.
yeah.
You feel like you took a lot of negative things came out of prison with you.
No.
Positive things came with you. But are you a paranoid person now?
You said am I paranoid?
Yeah, a lot of people say
I
like
mean,
paranoia is a big thing when they get out of prison.
it takes a lot for me to get adjusted. You know what I'm saying? But like I still don't like standing in line and got a whole bunch of motherfuckers standing behind me. And when a motherfucker move too close, I move like, hold on, like, you know what I mean? Like I still do that shit, you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Um, yeah, I hear a loud ass bang somewhere, don't know where it's coming from. I always get in defense mode, you know what I mean?
yeah, you gotta know, you gotta
Yeah.
know.
So it's a lot of shit, bro.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, I still
and
find
seeing
my
how you was game banging too while you was in there,
yeah,
it. When I was in there, I was one of the Crips, and it's like
yeah.
when you doing that kind of thing in there, you always gotta be on point because the next man's what he got going on could affect you. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Was it the same way down there? If one of y'all members got into it with somebody, everybody had to jump in.
Hell, motherfucker, yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah,
shit become a big ass problem. That shit become a big ass problem. I mean, I had a situation where we got a heavy presence in our penitentiary system with the Chicago cats. And I got into it with one of the Chicago cats, and mind you, this is when I got to the yard, to a higher yard, and I've been to that yard before about 2 years prior to coming back for the second time. So it's a lot of new faces. You know how the prison system is, it's a revolving
yeah,
door. It's always new faces. So when I got to the yard, the homies that's doing life and the people that's really been there for a long time knew who I was, but then all the new faces didn't know who I was. So motherfuckers thought it was sweet. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers thought I was soft or whatever the situation may be. I got into it with one person. So when I got into it with that one person, I pressed on that nigga though. You know what I mean? Like, hey, nigga, we finna go catch this fade. This nigga was really a weenie. The nigga was just putting it on the front, putting it on the facade. He was acting like he was somebody that he wasn't. So when I pressed on him, he wasn't really about that life. But he ran and told all his homeboys. So then
oh,
all
you gotta
them,
get back up.
yeah, so all his homeboys came and pressed on me. But I'm looking at these niggas like, nigga, do you really know who the fuck I am? But we was on lockdown. It was time for lockdown. We locked down. Soon as they popped the doors for chow, man, I told one homie, the homie went and gathered up about 30 bloods, 30, 40 bloods, man. They came over there and pushed with me, and we went to go see these niggas. These niggas was shaking like booty meat. These niggas didn't want no problems. Oh, my bad, Brizzle, my bad, Brizzle. All right, sure you don't want these problems though, my nigga? I was that nigga that you was over there talking about, nigga, that I'm that nigga though. But these my niggas too. They want the backup fade. You know what I'm saying? And niggas
Yeah,
didn't want none of that. So
yeah, it's crazy, yo. Any jail, prison I went to, yo, y'all always deep. Y'all always deep.
yeah, yeah, shit. It be a mixture of both out here on the West Coast though. Like in Arizona, it could be a hella Bloods or it could be hella Crips. You know what I mean? But right
Yeah,
now in Arizona is one of them states where it's a booming state right now. So everybody from the Midwest is moving out here. And I mean from Chicago, and let me just say Illinois, Michigan, uh, Ohio, all them little states in the Midwest, they out here thick. So they got their own car out here. The Midwest, Chicago out of town, whatever. You know what I mean? They got their own car out
yeah.
here. So just like Cali got their own car out here too in Arizona. They got a
Yeah,
heavy presence out there.
it's way different. That's why I be telling people, people getting confused because it depends on where you're at. It's how you know the prisons are different from everywhere you at. Every prison is different. Every state, you know what I'm saying? It's way different. That's why you can like watch a TV show. You see like 60 Days In, and they talking about they show that jail or whatever, and then you watch another jail show, and it's completely different. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy hearing about you know prisons where you was at over there on the West Coast.
Yeah, it's different. Like the same way where I hear about y'all jails out there and prisons out there. I mean, it
Yeah, what y'all be hearing about the East Coast?
just that all the races together. There's no politics. But
Yeah, basically,
but
yeah.
the, but the thing is, when inmates come together like that, y'all got more power than we do out here on the West Coast. Because when we got Mexicans deciding how they want to do something, then the blacks deciding how they want to do something, the same thing with the white boys, we can't never get nothing uh accomplished. You know what I mean? Because everybody's doing their own thing. But now when you guys come together and say, hey, you know what? We gonna have a meeting with the warden or the higher ups and we want this on our commissary or we want fundraisers, we want this and that. Y'all could come to a
It sound
conclusion.
nice, but that don't happen though. It sound nice, you
Nah,
know what I mean? It sound nice, but that don't happen like that.
yeah.
I mean, it ain't more. It ain't racial, but like it's gangs. And,
Yeah.
basically, it's the same thing, but instead of racial, it's just gangs, territorial, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So other than that, you got any situations that you personally been into? What's the wildest situation that you personally been into, or is that the one with the phone?
Just the phone. Shit, you gotta catch a fade here and there though, bro. That's everyday life in
Matter of
the
fact, have a lot of people don't make it home. Did you see anybody that didn't make it home?
Yeah, I know a lot of people that got jammed up with some dope. People got caught up at visit trying to bring in dope. Um, I seen people that did, 7, 8, 9 years, and right before they about to get out, they come back and page to them for a body.
Dang.
Uh, I seen it all, bro. I seen motherfuckers bang a motherfucker out and get more time. Like you could get another life sentence in there for banging a motherfucker out. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
uh, I seen it all, bro. Out of the 12 years I've been there, there's not there's not much that I didn't see. You know what I mean? I seen bitches give up pussy on the yard, COs fuck, the white shirts in the cafeteria get they fuck on. I seen it all.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, it's only human nature. I'm pretty sure that happens everywhere.
Yeah.
But, that's crazy. You would think that it didn't, but it happens everywhere.
Mm.
Yeah, but can you think of anything else that you ain't spoke on yet? I'm trying to look through these questions.
Shit, man. I mean, not off the top of
Did,
my head, but I mean, shit. Go ahead if you got any other questions. You know what I mean?
did
Shit,
you
I'm here.
uh did you have anything that you wanted to personally say, or you know what I'm saying?
Uh, Kind of put me on the spot, but no, not
Oh,
really
I
though.
got a question. I got a question I didn't ask you, yo. Do you feel do you feel different about being on the outside? Like how is it getting used to being on the outside? Cause you fresh out.
Yeah, I'm fresh out.
So I mean, what's your mindset going through right now?
I'm just trying to adjust. You know what I mean? It's that easy to want to go back to go selling dope. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I for sure had to set my short term goals and shit before I got out, so I don't fall down that path. And to honestly, you know what I mean? I got real close with God. I built a relationship with him. You know what I mean? So he kind of
yeah, that's the big thing right there. That's the big
he
thing.
guides my path right every day. You know what I mean? Every day I wake up, I pray, and everything been working in my favor from the day I got out, bro. Like to getting the shit that I need done, to handling business, to job opportunities, to people coming into my life to open up the door for the next, you know what I mean? Even this little podcast interview right here, you know what I mean? This shit is
Yeah.
a blessing too, because I get to tell my story. People get to hear you know, my story, my lifestyle, whatever, and what I got going
They know
on.
prison's not a joke.
Yeah, it's not a joke, bro. It's not a joke. Um, you know, I've been to trial 3 times. I fought for my life. Uh, First time I got a hung jury. Um, and at this time I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to trial or not. You know what I mean? Because I'm on camera. You can go to my page on Instagram, Hot Topic Brizzle. I got real raw footage of me bang, bang, banging a motherfucker. You know what I mean? This is the video that they played in trial. That's why it's on my Instagram. And like I said, just going to trial. A lot of motherfuckers don't go to trial because they scared that, you know, by losing trial, they finna blam me. They finna give me 30,
Yeah.
40. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
But
that's how I felt.
I had no choice, bro. Like, I was already looking at a life sentence anyways if I didn't go to trial. So I said, fuck it. I'm not finna sign no plea for no 20, 25 years. Something telling me to go to trial. You know what I'm saying? I got real deep into that Bible too. And I went to trial and I beat my shit. I went through a divorce in the pen too. You know
I
what I'm
bet you
saying?
felt good. I bet that felt
And
good knowing hearing that, yo.
I told everybody, I said, the day I beat my shit, and for all y'all motherfuckers that don't believe in me, that don't want to see me come home or don't think I'm gonna come home, I said, watch this shit. Y'all finna be looking stupid here in a minute. 4 years later in the county, came back and got that not guilty verdict. You motherfuckers is looking stupid, bro. You know what I'm saying? The ex-wifey, we got a divorce in there. You know what I mean? She was moving on with her life. She didn't think I was coming home neither. You know what I mean? And I ain't mad at her. It's still love at the end of the day. But like I said, I hit rock bottom in that motherfucker. I really hit
Yeah.
rock bottom, bro. I went through a divorce. I was fighting for my life. I sat in there for 4.5 years, not knowing what's going on. Everybody's in my ear telling me that, hey man, you're on camera. You, you did this on camera, bro. You're not gonna beat it. But I'm telling motherfuckers, I'm gonna beat this shit because it's gonna be for self-defense.
Yeah. So basically you still had hope.
Yeah, hell
Everybody's telling you don't
yeah.
even have hope.
Yeah, they gave up on me, bro.
They gave up.
The first year they gave up on me. I still had hope the third and the fourth year. But there was also that doubt too, though. But that doubt started going away when I got into that Bible. And that Bible is
Yeah.
what steered me in the right direction. And it brought me to where I needed to be. And that's where I'm at right now because of that Bible,
Yeah, I can
bro.
feel that. That's the thing why I be doing what I do. Because like being in prison, yo, that's the most you're gonna be down your lowest when you're in prison. You barely have any good days. And like you said, that's when you see, the people you thought that was gonna be there for you, you know, they stop answering the phone and stuff. People that
Yeah.
you thought was gonna really be there for you.
Mhm.
And I just want to show people that, it's not the place to be. Like what would you say to a younger version of you?
Man, shit, get your shit together before it's too late. Because when it's too late, and you wasted all them years, you finna be mad than a motherfucker. When you could have done this shit a long time ago, you don't get this
Yeah,
time back. And I went through a situation with my kids, man, and my kids seen me go to the pen, 2 times. So I lost 12 years out of my kids' lives, and my oldest is 19. So basically, I only spent 7 years with my oldest. You know what I mean? And it's like the time that I'm doing right now with her, that I'm spending with her right now. I'm trying to make up for the lost time, but at the same time, bro, you can't really make up for lost time, bro. All you could do
yeah.
is just move forward. You know what I mean?
So
And
would you feel like you playing catch up?
I'm trying to, but then you got to come to realization there's no such thing as catch up, bro. You just got to catch up to speed and see what's going
Yeah,
on. There's no catch up. You know what I mean? You can still be a father to your kids when they're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old. being a father doesn't mean you have to be a father while they're under the age of 18. You know what I mean?
I
So
get what you're doing.
I still got my whole life to spend with him to be a father. You know what I mean? But it starts from this day on though, because I ain't got no time for no error, bro. I ain't got no more time to make any more mistakes. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
these two prison bids really fucked up my kid's head, bro. You know what I mean? Like they really love me. They really want to see me do good. You know what I mean? And for me to make this mistake for the second time, I just know there won't be no third time. So
Yeah. You know, when we young, going to jail and prison, we learn our lessons. Some people they hard headed. Some people got to go through the stuff to know how it is. But after you already been through it, it ain't no sense to just keep on doing it over and over. You know what I'm saying? Like there ain't nothing in there,
yeah, exactly,
nothing.
exactly.
And that's the main thing. I'll be sitting here putting these videos, and I'll be trying to tell these stories because since getting out, I see a lot of people that the YNs look up to nowadays.
Hmm.
They telling them to go catch bodies and all this other stuff. And I'm trying to tell people, it's not, it only ends two places. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? At the end of the day, don't even waste your time going to prison. It's not worth it. Stay up out of them streets and stay up out of them prisons. I can't hear you. I think oh, am I muted? You can't hear me? I can't hear you. I think you had a phone call.
I believe in each one teach one. You know what I mean? So if there is
Yeah,
somebody that's out there that's misguided, that needs help or need a shoulder to lean on, man, extend your hand out, man. Extend some love to him, man. Give him a warm embrace or something. You know what I mean? And guide him in the right path. You know what I mean? And that's basically the same thing as giving back to the youth or talking to the youth. It's I believe it's a generational gap between the what they call them, the Gen Zs. Is that what they call now? The young generation?
yeah, I think so.
The Gen Zs and the OGs, there's a big ass generational gap. There's nobody in the middle to really bring these people together. So the OGs kind of feel like there's no respect, but the Gen Zs, the young generation, and the young generation don't respect the OGs now. You know what I mean? So the shit is wild out here. But
Yeah,
me, I feel like I fall in the middle. I'm that gap. I'm that bridge right there. So I fuck with the OGs and I fuck with the young niggas too, though. You know what I mean? So that's how I pushed on the yard, though. Like when the OGs had the call to say something, then the young niggas wanted to say something on the yard, and then we couldn't come to a conclusion. Guess what? They come get me. Hey, Brizzle. Hey, man. Can you go talk to the little homies? Can you go do this? Cause I'm that nigga, though. You know what I mean? Like I can
yeah.
really.
So they said to listen to you.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
but it's like that on the streets too, though. I just feel like it's a generational gap. Like the OGs ain't really being OGs to these young niggas no more. So these
yeah.
young niggas is doing what the fuck they want to do out here, and that's why they doing all this silly shit, going to the pen and doing all this shit, knocking motherfuckers down. Um, but in
Well,
these,
somebody that really about that life. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I wouldn't put somebody down like that. I understand that people don't have father figures in their life, and they're gonna look up to the big homie. I would never put a gang member down because I
yeah,
understand people do it because they want a family. You know what I'm saying? That's
yeah,
why I did it. But like, I wouldn't tell nobody to join a gang at the same time, especially if you're not about that. Because I'm telling you, you don't do that stuff if you're not about that, because you're gonna be forced to do stuff, and if you don't want to do it, you're gonna become the next mission. I'm telling you, I've seen it a million times.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate you coming on here, and if you want to come back on here for a part two, we can do that.
I'll be ready for a part two. I appreciate you letting me come on the show, though, bro. That's love right there. I send my love and respect to you, bro.
Yeah,
And
I appreciate you all, you know, finding time to come on here and tell us about your time in prison and how it affected you and the things you've seen in there, and basically, telling
I
everybody
think
that's not where they want to be at.
yeah, that's real. I think next time when we do part two, though, we could go more into depth on my charges and my crimes and what I've really done come here because that's a whole nother story and it's a lot.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. That's one thing, I didn't, sometimes talking about charges, even when you locked up, you don't really want to, if you
Yeah.
want to talk about your charges, you're supposed to bring that up. I can't like ask
No,
you that.
we'll talk about it just so you can have a better understanding about me, about what I've been through and why I went to trial and how I was looking at a life sentence.
Yeah,
So I think I could give it to you, but I won't give it to you all because it's still a touchy subject. You know what I
yeah, yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's other names involved, so I don't want to get other people involved, but I still want to let the viewers have an
Yeah,
understanding of.
just
I
just
mean,
just give what you feel comfortable with giving.
yeah. We'll do that next time.
Yeah. But I appreciate everybody for showing up. And if you wanna go to his Instagram, what is it again?
It's Hot Topic Brizzle at Instagram. HOT period TOPIC Brizzle BRIZZLE on
I'm gonna put it
Instagram.
in the description too.
All right, bet that.
All right. I appreciate everybody for showing up. And remember, stay about them prisons, stay about them streets, be free.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you again.
I appreciate y'all, man.